Welcome in. Thanks for joining us for the WHHI Daily News, where we strive to bring you more Lowcountry news more often. And let's catch you up on what's happened over the holidays. I'm Bob Stevens. New year, new leadership for Beaufort County. In a stunning reversal, Beaufort County's council has put the women in charge and tossed the guys aside. Alice Howard won her fellow councilors' support in a 6-5 victory over Joe Passament to become chairman of the Beaufort County Council, and another woman, Tab Tabernick, was elected vice chair, replacing Passament and Larry McKellen as the leaders of the council that has been dysfunctional for years. The vote was actually more of a new council over old council upheaval. The council has been plagued by charges of secret meetings and hiding investigative reports. And then, of course, voters rejected a bond issue to fund capital improvements in November. In Tabernick's words, "I'm hoping my next 2 years are going to be really great once we take this storm cloud off our head and we work together as a group," end quote. Topping the county's agenda this spring is working with Hilton Head's government to fill the $190 million funding hole in the 278 corridor project brought on by the referendum defeat. Ready to find a new home for your once live Christmas tree? Beaufort County is accepting trees that have been stripped of all their decorations at their convenience sites around the county during regular dumping hours between 7:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. For those of you who do not have a dump sticker, you can still bring your trees to the Shanklin Road dump site in Beaufort or the one on Simmonsville Road in Bluffton. There is now a service that'll even come get your tree and recycle it for a price at GoLoadUp.com. The Hilton Head Convenience Center will accept old Christmas lights as well. The town of Hilton Head grinding its greens again if you drop off your live tree where the pile of trees already are, off Chamberlain Driveway, off Highway 278, or the Coligny Plaza beach parking area as in the past. Now, one of the first acts of the state Supreme Court after pausing executions for the holiday break was to reinstate the death warrant for Marion Bowman Jr., who's now scheduled to die by lethal injection on the 31st, the third prisoner to be put to death since executions were restarted last September. The 44-year-old Bowman has been on death row for more than 2 decades for shooting childhood friend Candy Louise Martin in Dorchester County back in 2001, then stuffing her body into a car trunk and setting the car on fire. Bowman finally spoke about the case a couple of weeks ago, saying that while Martin was one of his buyers of crack cocaine, he didn't kill her, and also he had an inadequate legal defense. There are currently 30 others, all men, on the state's death row. Your Beaufort County high school students will have to modify their cell phone use again when they go back to school this week. The high schoolers have been able to use their phones during the lunch break during the fall, but starting this week, they'll have to abide by the new state law that's gone into effect that bars cell phone use during the entire instructional day. Beaufort County was ahead of the curve when it put its limitations on cell phone usage back in the fall, but now everybody has to play by the state's rules. And here's a worthy New Year's resolution: about a little less time on your mobile device. On average, we spend nearly 5 hours a day on our phones and check them over 200 times a day. Over 80% of us look at our phone within 10 minutes of waking up. 40% suffer anxiety if our battery goes below 20%. And more than a quarter of us check our phones while driving. We know that's dangerous. If there's any good news from all of this, it's that we're at least not checking our phones quite as much as in past years or chasing down the newest model of phone. But 5 hours a day? What did we used to do with all that time? For more details on these stories and other Lowcountry news, we invite you to visit the sources listed on your screen. Still to come on the WHHI Daily News, we're going to talk about the new year on Hilton Head Island with Charlie Clark of the Hilton Head Chamber of Commerce. They got some interesting things coming up in the next few weeks. We've also got a special guest from the Island Rec Center joining us, and we'll be talking about local sports. We're going to catch you up from all the holiday tournaments. All of that coming up when we come back.